what's up? It's been a while. Gosh, there's so much that's been going on. Been trying to fix the backyard. We're still trying to finish moving in. We're still trying to organize. And we're trying to juggle everything, you know. We still gotta go to work and we take our days off, but we're still, you know, doing work, but around the house. There'll be some clips here in a bit that I'll show you. And then, but first, let me tell you something. It's August the 14th, okay? At the beginning of this week, it's Friday, okay? The beginning of this week, I listened to a radio station in my car. Never changed the radio station. Don't let anybody change it. And my mom would always do that too. She would always have it on that one Christian radio station, but in Spanish. I didn't think that I would end up like that, but this is in English. And this radio station is Air One. It's a Christian radio station. I used to listen to K-Love, and then I found Air One here in San Antonio. So I like Air One better because they have game shows, they have like this little game and these little segments pretty much. And me and Mason love hearing it. We love hearing the segments. So the one that we're excited about is the little segment called The Almost Impossible Question of the Day. So the hosts of the radio station are CJ and Lauren, and you know, I guess CJ is the one that looks for these questions, right? Somewhere online maybe, or in a book. We love hearing it because he doesn't give a lot of opportunities to try to figure it out, right? He gives Lauren that first chance and he's like, okay, Lauren, if you got this, cool. So if Lauren doesn't answer it, then the next one to answer the impossible question is someone who calls into the radio station, right? So if they don't answer it, then they give the answer away. And it is really impossible to answer these questions. Sometimes it's very rare if somebody actually answers the question and is like, oh shoot, I got it right. Okay, cool. But you gotta love that they got your brain thinking throughout the day, or on that little, 10 minutes of the day, pretty much. Anyways, with that, the reason why I'm talking about this radio station is because I love hearing this radio station, honestly. And as I was saying, at the beginning of the week, they had this little contest, let's say, where you text a word to the number that they provided. And the rule of the game is, or the competition or whatever, is if you can phone a friend and they answer, you win $500 for yourself, and they win $500 for them. Well, here goes Karina texting the number, putting the word in. This was like Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday when I did this, because I heard it and I thought, let me see if I can enter this segment. And I did. And today, we went to the bank to go change Mason's check. And when he went in, I get a text. And it says, hey Karina, this is CJ and Lauren from Air One radio station. Did you enter into a contest? And do you have time to answer your phone at 2? And I was like, wait, what is this? And then I remembered and I was like, shut up, no way. So then I answer, I'm like, yes. And then it says, well, make sure that you can text your friend so that when we call, they answer and you win $500 and they win $500. Well, me and Mason already knew about this. So he was like, if they call you, you're calling me. And I was like, bet. And he's like, yeah, I'll answer you. So he's like messing with my phone, right? And he's trying to call himself, make sure that it rings and this and that and blah, right? So then I guess he forgot to hang up. So then CJ and Lauren called me and they're like, I couldn't answer because it was still on the call for Mason. And then so I hung up Mason's and it hung up CJ and Lauren.
Air One $500 giveaway. CJ and Lauren $500. Woo!
I'm like, call him back, because I'm driving. And I'm like, call him back. We're getting this chance and we're gonna mess it up. So then he calls him back and he's like, answer. And then I'm like, hello? And they're like, hey, Karina, this is CJ and Lauren. How you doing? I'm like, fine, I'm good. And Mason's like, in the passenger side, like, he's like, get off the road. He's like, and then I'm like, hold on. I'm trying to answer them. I'm trying to listen and I'm trying to pull over at the same time. I can't do all three. So then I find this little spot. I don't know what it was. I think it was a bank. And I pull over and I'm like listening to CJ and Lauren. And like Lauren's like, hey, do you have somebody that you can call? And I'm like, yeah, my boyfriend. And then so they're like, do you have his number? And blah. And I was like, yeah, hold on, let me look for it. So I'm looking. And then Lauren's like, yeah, I know. I'm the same way. I don't even know my husband's number or something like that. I don't know. And then I was just nervous. Like, I'm like, dude, I've never entered into a radio I've entered into contests like Roman Atwood's contest, you know, when he gives his truck away or whatever, you know, because I like that YouTuber. Okay, I've watched him for years now. It's been maybe about 10. And now I watch his son. Anyways, so I've entered into a few contests, but this was different. This literally was different. So then they go and call Mason, and Mason's like, what? And they're like, hey, you just won $500. And he's like, what? He's like, wait, what? So then they're talking to him, they're talking to me, and then we're just like, what just happened? Like, what in the world? So then we're just like, did we just both win 500 each? And Mason's like, can you believe it? And I was like, no, I can't. So what happened is what they're like, oh, what are you gonna use this money towards? And Mason's like, towards. And then I was like, oh my gosh, since we're planning, we might as well. So we're like, we were talking about it like maybe 20 minutes before we even got into this whole thing of the radio station. And for him to say that, I was like, oh my gosh. I would have probably just started using it right here, right now. Like, you know, been like, oh, we need this for the house. We need this. But it's a great start. The way he thinks is so good because, like I said, I would have just started, you know, using the money. But us saving it for what we're going to use it is so much better. Now, it took me a while to get out of the shock because we were still doing things. And I was like, I still can't believe that we just won. And I'm not gonna kid you guys, this isn't the first time that I've won $500. Randomly, okay. I know DoorDash had a contest one time, and I didn't think I would enter. I think it was an automatic thing, because we were Dashers and whatever or not, and it automatically enters. So when they sent me an email and they're like, hey, you just won $500, blah, yeah, it's going into your card automatically. It was in my card within 5 minutes. When I saw that text message, I was like, no, this is fraud. And I go and check my card, and there's $500 in there. So then I'm like, oh, okie dokie. I guess that's it. So then that was probably like, what was that? 2023? 24? Somewhere around there. 22, 23. And I was already falling behind on rent. And that literally was all the rent money that I needed to pay. So I used that for rent, and some way, somehow I made it through, you know. I'm glad that God uses us in many ways, you know. He gives us the opportunity to, you know, do many things for other people, but sometimes when you do all that, he thinks about us and he's like, you know what, let me do something for you. And sometimes it's winning $500, you know, and not all the time, but you know, when it's in need, when he knows that you're going to use it for something good, right? So I just wanted to come up on here and let you guys know that God helps when you least expect it. And sometimes it's through a Christian radio station, you know? So go listen to our one. Anyways, I'm done rambling. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully, I can show you a finished product of the backyard. But for right now, we're still under construction.